Good morning children. Today in this video I shall start chapter 3 Advanced Features of Word Processor 1. In this chapter I shall explain you format painter, header and footer, setting of margins, page orientation and indenting text. Children, take out your book and take out page number 30. Microsoft Word is a word processor that helps you to create documents with a professional outlook. It not only provides the facility to type and edit the text, but also offers features to enhance the overall appearance of the text. In the previous lesson, you have learned various basic editing and formatting tools like inserting, moving, copying, changing the font, text alignment, etc. In this lesson, you will enhance your skills by learning some advanced features of editing and formatting. Format painter. Format painter is a tool which is used to copy and apply the same formatting such as color, font style and size and border style to another section of text or graphics. Okay, now this format painter can be found on the home tab in the clipboard group. In format painter, the pointer changes into a brush shape. Now we have to drag the brush over the selection of text or graphics to apply the formatting. The formatting attributes, the formatting style of the previous text will be applied to the selected text. Attributes means style. Now, superscript and subscript. Superscript makes the text slightly above the baseline and subscript makes the text slightly below the baseline. Now, the superscript option places the selected text slightly above the baseline. On the contrast, the subscript option places the selected text slightly below the baseline and makes it appear smaller compared to the rest of the text. Now suppose you type M2 and then select only the number. Then click on the font dialog box launcher on the home tab. The font dialog box will appear. Then you select superscript checkbox under the effects section. Click OK. You will notice that this 2 number will be placed slightly above the baseline. Now applying shadow effect. How can you give shadow effect to your text? Shadow effect gives 3D look to the text. To apply the shadow effect, we have to follow a few steps. Like select the text on which you want to apply the shadow effect. First you have to select the text. Okay, and then go to shadow button that is in the font group on the home tab, and then you can give the shadow effect according to your needs. Now applying header and footer. Header and footer is used to place some information on the top and at the bottom of every page respectively. You can include the title, chapter's heading, date, page number, author's name, etc. in this section. Okay, and then we'll come to know about header and footer tools more. So, like the header and footer buttons are found, it is found in the header and footer group on the insert tab. Okay, click on the header button. This header button is clicked. You have to click on the header button, it will display a list of options. That list of options, in that you have to select the edit header option in the drop down menu. The word will display the editable header at the top of each page. An additional tab named Design under the header and footer tools will appear on the ribbon. This portion is known as ribbon. Okay, this is what called ribbon, this part of the window. Now click on the header box and then type the text you want to display here. For example, KIPS, Learning Solutions, on the left side. Press the tab key twice. The pointer point will jump to the right side. Click on the date and time button on the insert group. On the design tab, the date and time dialog box appears. Choose the date and time format and then click OK. You can see the changes takes place in that text. In the header region, this KIPS Learning Solution will be written there, and in the footer, date and time will be written there in the footer region. Inserting column and column break. You can insert the column and then break the column also. For that, we have to follow some steps. Okay. Now, when you type in Microsoft Word, by default the text is displayed in a single column style or in a paragraph style. If you wish to format the document in newspaper style, Word enables you to create a document in 2 or more columns. Yes, if you want to write in 2 or 3 columns, that Microsoft Word helps you to arrange the documents according to your need, either in 1 column or in 2 or more columns, that is column style. Okay. Now how you can insert the columns? The easiest way to create a multi-column document is to use the column button. This column button you can see in the page setup group on the page layout tab, where you will see this column button in the page setup group on the page layout tab. Now how can you insert column break? If you have already added columns to your Word document, then you might have noticed that some of the columns are not as balanced as you would like them to be. One solution to this problem is to add column break. It will force the end of the column and move the text to the beginning of the new column. Yes, this is the use of inserting the column break. What is the use? That it will force the end of the column and move the text to the beginning of the new column. Inserting page break. Click on the text where you want the page break. Select the breaks button. This button, it is on the page layout tab, and in this tab there is page setup group. Click on the page option from the drop down menu. The page will change after the point at which the page break is inserted. Next is to insert line break. A line break can be placed anywhere in the Word document. Place the cursor at the position where you want to add the line break and press Enter key. The rest of the text will move to the next line. To check the line break in a document, click on the line break symbol that is on the Home tab in the paragraph group. Setting margins. Margin refers to the amount of blank space between the edge of the page of the document text. Microsoft Word allows you to set the margins on all the 4 sides of the document. All the 4 sides of the document. Okay? Top, bottom, left and right. Okay? Top, bottom, left and right. The default margins are set at 1 inches from top and bottom and 1 inches from left and right edge of the page. This way we can set the margins in Microsoft Word very easily. Next topic is page orientation. Page orientation property which sets the printing direction of the text. There are 2 types of orientation, page orientation, portrait and landscape orientation. Portrait orientation is lengthwise and landscape orientation is widthwise. Setting page orientation. What is page orientation? Page orientation, this orientation can be found in 2 ways, portrait and landscape. Okay, the page orientation property sets the printing direction of the text. The default orientation of the paper is set to portrait, in which the document is printed lengthwise, and in landscape it will be widthwise. When we choose landscape orientation, the document is printed widthwise. There are some steps given here. This page orientation is in the page layout tab. This option is in the page layout tab, and in page layout tab there is button, that is orientation button, and this button is found in the page setup group, that is found in the page layout tab. Now you have to choose the landscape orientation from the drop down list if you want to change the portrait orientation. Now setting paper size. In Microsoft Word you can work with different sizes of paper. Okay, though the available selection depend on the type of printer you use. To set a paper size, you have to select the page layout tab, and in page layout tab you have to click on the size button. This size button is in the page setup group, and in this you can change the size of the paper according to your need and according to your text length. Now working with tabs. There are different tabs, and how can you work with the tabs? The most common way to indent the text is to use the tab key. It is used to move the cursor at certain spaces in a document. By default, tab stops and sends at every 0.5 inch. You can set the tab stops along the ruler according to your requirement. When you press the tab key, the cursor automatically jumps to the next tab. Tabs can also be created using leaders line. The leaders insert dots or dashes in the space leading up to the tab stop. This working with the tabs enable us to move or to insert some space along with the margins, and we can do it according to our requirements. Indentation determines the amount of spacing between the text and the page margins. Indenting basically draws the reader's attention. Indentation feature is used to move the complete paragraph or the first line of a paragraph to a specific position, either from the left margin to the right margin. And this indenting text we can do in two ways. Either we can increase the space between the text and the margin, or else we can decrease the space between the text and the margins. And these two options, increase indent and decrease indent, can be found in the paragraph group, and this paragraph group is on the home tab. Like this, I have completed this chapter. In this chapter, we studied about the features of word processor. In my next video, I shall start chapter 4, in which we will study some more features of word processor.